What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. Is it just me, or does that look... no. Never mind. That looked like it was open, but it's not. Or at least not as bad as I thought. So in the last episode, we built what I kind of impromptu dubbed Snake Way, which, I mean, it's pretty accurate, actually. I mean, it's a really, really, really stupid long walkway that probably won't stay there. Probably not in that version anyway. It sounded like my engine just kicked on. That was weird. Alright, so anyways. So what we're working on today is we're gonna leave most of this. I don't think I'm gonna waste the time to try and tear it all down at the moment. Not like this stuff, but like the big walkway area. I think I'm just gonna leave it for now unless I just really needed resources, but that's only a few steel plates and stuff, so I'm not super worried about it at the moment. But there's a couple of ideas that have been brought up through the comments, and again, I really need to apologize for not responding to them through the comments. I really just haven't had time, but I do read through them all at least once before I, start recording to take in suggestions and things like that. But there was a few different suggestions that I kind of want to work with. Oop, I'm out of power on my jetpack. One being, a couple of people mentioned the tunnels idea wasn't a bad one for connecting it, but a few people offered a few different variants on some more immediate issues, as far as something I could do relatively quickly, and that could, that could help solve a lot of the power problems and things. One idea that I've kind of combined from a couple of different suggestions is I'm going to tear down the quote-unquote scout ship, and I'm going to kind of repurpose it a little bit. For one, I'm going to turn it into a driller, and for another, I'm going to try and lower its profile by, a lot. And not do like the extra metal outsides and things like that and make it look interesting, which it definitely looks interesting. I wouldn't say cool. And stuff like that. So I'm going to repurpose this into a driller. I might even try and do a remote one. I'm not really sure how much the range on my antenna here can reach, but the iron and cobalt's only 870 meters, and I think the antenna can reach like 5,000 or something ridiculous. So we should be okay with a remote block. The other thing that I want to do, I might even take a fly up here anyway so that I can mark it with a GPS coordinate. One suggestion that I actually got was to create a power station that's a separate base up here on the top peak mountain. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that or not, but one thing that was suggested was basically mounting batteries to merge blocks. And that got me, and then taking like a small little connecting ship type of thing and basically bringing it back to recharge the lower base. And that got me thinking of a couple different things. First of all, that was a good idea. I actually kind of like that idea. But second of all, is it kind of made me wonder... Actually, you know what? I'm just now kind of thinking of this too. I don't think there would be anything really stopping me from putting my base up here at the moment. Let me get down here and turn my jetpack off. Why am I... Oh, we're still at an angle here, so we're not quite at the peak. But yeah, technically there's quite a bit of room and stuff up here. I'm not really sure that there would be any particular reason I couldn't just start up, basically leave the skeleton for that base down there, but instead of just making a small little power station, I could kind of make a base right here that would always have power, because the sun kind of is rotating like this. So that's not really a bad idea either, and something I might do. At first I was going to say I'm going to use the suggestion of put a power station up here, and then use some kind of small little transport ship to bring the batteries back, which I may still do, but it kind of occurred to me as I was flying up here just now, why not expand the quote-unquote power station and just make it a little larger and make that the secondary outpost kind of thing. So that might be something we are going to pursue today, because that could turn into a larger scale thing. As far as projects and stuff have been going, I don't think anything that I've planned out is technically unrealistic. It's mainly just an issue of time. If I was only doing space engineers or something, that would be one thing. I forgot to make a location over here. If I was only doing space engineers, that would be fine. But with as many different things as I'm doing at the moment, nope. I'm still getting used to some of this stuff. I really haven't used very much of it. So let's just say power station for now. But that'll also kind of be our impromptu new base for the moment. So yeah, let me do some stuff and see if I can repurpose some things, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I managed to reconvert the scout ship basically into a remote driller. Now the only thing with this is, frankly, I have never really done this kind of thing before in terms of piloting things remotely, so I'm probably going to be horrible at it, even to the point where I completely forgot to install any kind of cameras, because I just now noticed this. Yeah, so that probably wasn't the best of things. What do I need? Steel and computers? That's not bad. I thought that maybe they'd make me use a display or something like that. By the way, that was a weird stutter. By the way, I actually found out that these displays are really useful for getting silicon. The displays in bulletproof glass have a lot of silicon in them. Actually, I didn't even realize bulletproof glass. I've got 550 of that. I mean, I know I need it for Windows and all, but what are you gonna do? Let's just grab a bunch. I know I don't need that much, and I also rigged up a connector system to a conveyor so that instead of a landing gear, I can actually use the conveyor here to transfer stuff out of the drills and so on. Alright, so cameras. Let's go... Can I not mount one there? Why not? That's dumb. Why can't I put one there? Actually, why is it not letting me put one anywhere? That's not good. Well, that sucks. Well, alright then. I don't really want to fly blindly, but it's not really giving me a whole... Like, I don't understand... Oh, wait. I mean, I guess that would be kind of your view. I guess I could put one there and then one over here. Am I even putting... I'm not even putting these the right way. So I could put one there and one there, and between the two, I guess you could figure it out. I don't really like that, but I don't seem to have a whole heck of a lot of options. I guess we could put one there and one there. So that's up, down. I mean, up, down, forward, and left and right. Can I put... I can probably put one on the bottom once I start flying it. I wanted to put this thruster down here under this, but the landing gear is currently in the way, so I couldn't do that. So once I get the ship up in the air or connected or something and I can remove the landing gear, then I'm gonna put one back there. And I'll wait and put the camera... we'll just put one right there. So we have forward, left, right, backward. I don't really foresee a need for an up, but, I mean, I guess you never know. So, rotate. Thank you. So I guess we'll put one there. And then, like I said, once I get the ship elevated, I'll put one under the batteries there. So that should work. But yeah, I've never really done remote flying or cameras or any of that crap. So I have no idea. Actually, I've even been told that there's like that they've refined the autopilot system and stuff to where eventually I could just have this thing mining for me, which would be amazing. And it would seem that in putting 2 batteries, I guess they start with power, because they already have 320 kilowatt hours stored, and all I did was install them. Now, an interesting point is the max they can hold is 1.08 megawatt hours, which is going to be 2.16, if my math's right. And this one can hold 3 megawatt hours, but I only have 799. So I don't think I want to plug it in just yet to the base until the base has a bit more power, because otherwise I'm gonna end up draining it all from one source or the other. But basically, I kind of sort of took the design that we saw in the last inspiration episode. Some of you may recognize this kind of build from the Molly build that we did, or that we showed. And I kind of changed a few things around. Obviously, it wasn't a remotely piloted ship. It had a cockpit, which was basically where all this crap is. I hope the thrusters don't damage the blocks from there. Technically, the collision box is in line with this bottom thruster, but that's where they had it as well. There was another drill off to the side, so even though these were puffed out a little from the cockpit, it was still basically right above a drill. So I'm thinking it'll be fine, but I really don't know to be sure. So yeah, let's go ahead and turn these guys back on. The batteries are set to recharge, that's why nothing's powered. So as soon as I set them to main power mode, I should be able to access it remotely, unlock the landing gear, blah, 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 blah. Now, unfortunately, I can't take control of the ship and set up the hotbar until I actually power the thing on, which is kind of unfortunate because I wanted to go ahead and kind of get the hotbar set up while it wasn't draining energy, but, you know, what are you going to do? So, anyways, let me go ahead and make a save real quick and make sure everything is all squared away, and we're going to give this guy a test remote flight and see how maneuverable it is. I don't know how long I'll be able to fly it around though. So let's take a break and I'll be back in just a second and we'll try it out. Alrighty. So the first step we've got to do is turn the batteries back on, or at least disable their recharge mode to where everything's active. Now, while it's just idling here, let me just really quick check and see what they're reading at. 6 days to depletion, 6 days. Okay, we're not doing anything, but it's still something I wanted to check. So I should be able, there it is, small grid. I need to rename it actually. So ownership correct, connection stable, distance 9. Oh, wait, that's terminal. Take control. Okay, so unlock that. We're gonna fly up. I'm going to disengage this so that I can get rid of this landing gear. And let's go ahead... I forgot where it was. There it is. Let's go ahead and install a camera. Right there. Okay. So now I should be able to access it like this. Moves around pretty good for just having one gyroscope. Batteries, 26 minutes, 27 minutes. Okay. Oh, I can see the readout down at the bottom. That's right. So, yeah, if I move forward and stuff, we only got like a few minutes, so I don't really want to mess with that too much. The last camera I just installed should be the bottom. Okay, and I want that to be... Oh, it got it. Nope. What the... Oh, I'm not remote controlling it anymore. I was like, if I hit P, it should dock. Alright, now... Where is battery 1 and 2? Let's go ahead and turn those off. Actually... I probably shouldn't... I probably should leave the antenna on, but let's turn the thrusters off. The batteries are off. We'll turn the cameras off. And I'm going to go through and, like, set all these more properly kind of thing. Drill is already set to off. Somehow. Maybe it just defaults to off because I don't have enough power or something. Gyroscope we can turn off. Ore detector we can turn off. Although, it doesn't seem to come up with a power, so I don't even know if that's draining any power or not. Remote control... Wait, what did I just click? Crap. Did I just say don't show that in the terminal? Is that what I clicked? Yep. I thought that was the off button. Alright, so remote control doesn't have an off button. Oh, that's unfortunate because it requires power, so that's kind of crappy. Everything else looks fine, so we'll just leave everything off. And like I said, I'm going to end up going through and... oh, I thought lights came on over there. It's because the sun's coming up. I'm going to have to go through and actually configure everything to where this isn't draining a lot of power. Now, on a normal circumstance, actually, I may change this. Current input is 250. I'll let it slide for now. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should turn the batteries back on and let them charge up as well off of the solar power. So let's turn them on. Fully recharged in 14 hours. So yeah, so now let me double check and see what the power drain on this is with those two active. Okay, so it's all the same now, basically. I did manage to... Oh, hello. Large steel tubes. I did manage to fix this bottom solar panel here using the trick that I mentioned before where I figured out about displays and stuff in order to get more power. So that's kind of done at this point. Now we're just waiting on power for it to recharge. So I think the next step is to go up to the cliff, and we'll probably wrap this episode up by starting our new power area system thingamabobber. Alrighty, so here's kind of a skeletal makeup of what I'm thinking for our new power station area. And like I said before, as we get a little bit further along, I will probably start working on migrating the important stuff over to here. But at the moment, because I had the sun down there, I wanted to leave the batteries and the whatchamacallit, the ship and stuff and the solar panels down there to recharge, because all of my batteries could use the juice. But ideally, within the next episode or two, I'd like to have... I'm probably going to leave, like, just the steel stuff down there, but kind of move production, power, storage, all that stuff, medical, and move that up here where we are going to basically be optimizing our power more. And I actually have probably what I need to finish some of this other than the solar panels and the batteries. Batteries I might even be able to do too. Nope, 120 power cells, do not have that. So, well, I do, but I'd have to take down the other power batteries and stuff. But, so what I've got here is a little 3x3 platform with some curved edges, not a big deal, and a piston that's, I think, 1 block into the ground. And then a rotor. I think I might have used an advanced rotor just because they cost the same, so it was kind of like, why not? And then 4 batteries and 2 solar panels, so essentially the same solar array I have set up down on the other base, except for the extra batteries that I don't yet have the ability to make yet. So, with that in mind, what I think is going to end up happening is I'll probably take a lot of my extra materials and stuff like that and try and finish one of these batteries, and then I can feed off of the charged battery that's down there while I bring my solar panels up here, and it can be charging that. I think is kind of the idea I'm going for. But before I get too carried away with this, I wanted to kind of get some feedback from you guys. So what I'm thinking is, while we do have a piston here that's going to extend upward, I still don't want to build too much out in this region that's kind of somewhat flush with the solar panels, because if I build something high to house a refinery or whatever, it would kind of get... it could get in the way. Again, I'll have a piston here that can extend upward, so it shouldn't be a really big deal. But I felt like it would be a smart idea to kind of use the terrain to my advantage here and branch off and go down the cliffside with kind of some various platforms and kind of make a cliffside base type of thing. This looks like it could be a little rocky, pun intended, of a building area because of how deformed the terrain is. This one over here was kind of, you can see I already kind of started heading this way. It seemed like a little bit more of a gradual slope that we could work with, but also I forgot to make a GPS coordinate, but that's basically in the main direction vicinity of our old base. And so if I do intend to eventually connect the two, it wouldn't really be smart to go that way when you might want to bring the base back to connect it up. So one way or another, I want to go off either this way or this side to bring it back towards the original base down there kind of thing. And we may not end up using the Snake Way path or whatever, but it's still, the idea is still somewhat viable. It's just I might change how I'm doing it so it's not just a bunch of... I may kind of follow the terrain a little bit more. Instead of doing just a elevated walkway, I may keep it connected to the cliff and just make it like... I'm almost kind of thinking what another comment had mentioned was kind of following the terrain a little bit closer, like snugged up, to where you're basically kind of like this. You're attached to the terrain still. We're not like floating out on platforms. But then as we go around or something, is like every once in a while put little outposts for various different, one being a refinery, one bit, you know, stuff like that. It was an interesting idea. That's long term though. For now, I'll probably keep everything encapsulated over here once I get it moved, is kind of what I'm thinking. Man, that is a long way to go though for building purposes. That's a lot of stuff and materials. It'll probably end up eventually, when I actually start getting more resources and things, I'll probably try and kind of recreate some sort of like tram system, or have like a little landing pad and fly over. It may not be inherently connected because this is a long way to get to that peak. I think originally I was going to put it here until I realized that that wasn't really the peak. That over there is probably the closest I've found in my immediate vicinity to an unobstructed view of the sun. I do think we're not quite on a perfect polar location, mainly because of where I was standing as I was building that. I noticed the sun, like say if this was where it was when I got there, it ended up being kind of over here, like over in this area, by the time I started recording. So it's not going perfectly horizontal, it's kind of going up at a little bit of an angle. So there may be a spot or two, even at our newly acquired power station location, where it may still lose the sun just a hair. But yeah, I'm just, I don't know, I'm gonna leave this for now, particularly because the hydrogen tank, that's kind of my source for acquiring more jetpack fuel and stuff. So I don't really want to move that. How are we doing on power, guys? Battery. 9 hours, both stored 336. This one's stored 884. Nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, I already have 4 panels built. So it's really going to be... Ooh, they're full power too. Good job, you guys. You're just doing work. So yeah, I'm definitely going to transplant those, and they'll just be in a better spot. However, I'm going to have to move all of this stuff at some point, particularly just because I've got no other way to connect the 2 bases. So whatever power and stuff I'm storing here won't really end up being transferable. Now, the only thing that I did think of is I might do... I might add, just for transporting, like, just because, for the immediate moment of trying to get things done, I may add, like, a landing gear off to the side here. And I know that might seem weird, like, why would you do that? Or maybe just to keep the flight balance for now. Maybe put one on each side, I don't know. But what I'm thinking is, when I get to stuff that's non-transferable, like power sources, batteries, particular, I might dismantle some stuff around the base to where they're free-floating, but have the landing gear clamped to it, so that, quote-unquote, when it drops, it will basically just be connected to the ship. Then fly the ship over there, and right before I go to do anything, have, like, some kind of merge block set up to where it can attach it, is kind of what I'm thinking, and it'll become part of the next grid. And then I can do stuff like, you know... I don't know if it would work or not, so let me know if you guys are familiar with merge block mechanics if it won't work. But essentially what I was thinking was, if, say, this thruster is held to this battery or something by a merge block, is then basically building to where it's connected and then removing the 2 merge blocks, and now it's connected through some other means. And then you can go back through and kind of replace it. I don't know if they will actually do that or not, or if it offsets them like a rotor displacement head type of thing. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. We got a platform established, sort of, but I don't really have enough resources to do both things. I have 8. I can do 8. Let's drop some of the excess weight here. 34. That could work. That might get me... Oh, wait, what did I need for the battery? I needed like 120 power cells, didn't I? I don't think I have that. Oh, I do. I have 140. Well, isn't that cozy? I have no room for it, though. Okay. I think I did everything with this material already. So let's drop that. I can only carry 52. Meh. Alright, let's do... Okay, come on. This is silly. Oh, I can only carry 80 as it is. Let's do something like that and see what we can work with. See if I can manage to get some more stuff squared away. But yeah, so that's kind of my plan at the moment. There's still a lot of stuff I'm not really sure about, as far as I know that for a temporary type of thing, the transporting the batteries through merge blocks or something, if I actually had set up like this is a merge station and this is a power cell unit, you know, not like what I was talking about before of transplanting, but make them portable. If I made something portable like that and used the driller as a, you know, transport ship or something, that could work. I don't know. I don't know if that would work really well, but I'm kind of thinking of, I think transplanting the base, or at least the base's guts, is probably the easier of the two situations. I didn't end up doing these. Crud. Alright. Okay. I think I might have put in everything on that first battery. Nope, did not. Crud. Alright. So, yeah. That's something I'm thinking about. And I also could break down some of the bulletproof glass, get some more silicon, and then make my own power cell, or not my own, some more solar cells. And if I did that, I would actually be able to leave the batteries and solar panels down here, but could go and make new ones up at the new tower. But like I said, it's all just kind of one of those, I'm trying to just do things efficiently, but I think it will be a better location up there for a base in general. Mainly just because I've got a whole section that's blocked by mountains for solar power. A lot of people were telling me that uranium is plentiful and, once you get that, your power's fine. But frankly, I haven't been drilling or searching enough, I guess. But I haven't even seen uranium here. So it's probably because I'm up high, and I've been told a lot of the ore deposits are like down in the mountains type of thing and in the ground. So it's probably just that I'm not up high enough, essentially. I think if I had 140, then I need to leave 20 there, and that would give me what I need. And let's just go with steel and construction components at the moment. Computer. Actually, that was a pretty good call other than computers. I need computers, though. One? Seriously? Alright. There. That'll work. So, yeah, because I found out that a solar cell takes 2.67. Oh, hold up. 2.67 nickel and silicon. Oh, that's a solar cell, not a solar panel. I was like, is that all a solar panel needs? Yeah, it wasn't right. There we go. That's more. Okay, so a solar panel requires more than that. What does it actually require? So it's the solar cells. The rest of this is pretty cheap, actually, but 64. Good grief. 170 silicon per solar panel. But what I noted was where I was breaking down like computers and stuff, they only have 0.07. I didn't even think to look at the bulletproof glass and the display. Actually, bulletproof glass has a lot. It has 5. So with that in mind, I might actually be able to make my own, or I keep saying make my own, but make more of them, essentially. So yeah, I don't really know. What I'll probably do, though, is if I can at least get... I know I can, but once I get this battery up here established, then more than likely what I'll end up doing for now is just moving the panels up here and feeding off of the power that I had on the power cell to make anything else that I need while in transit that I don't already have. I'll probably end up adding storage units and then using the drill as a go-between, because I think it'll hold like 32,000 liters of stuff, and I think my current chest is at like 80-something, so I'll need to make a couple trips to bring all my stuff up here. But that should be fine. Oh! I was short on computers? Really? Alright, well, oh well. But yeah, you guys can see kind of where that's going as far as the piston will help even... Yeah, there it is. So it started over here, and it's kind of moving up like this, so I'm assuming at its peak it'll move back down, because we saw it over here at the beginning of the episode. And so as it comes down, this region right here may be powerless, unless this piston can go up high enough it can still reach it. I don't know. But yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it'll maintain contact with it. But then about somewhere in here, it comes back up. So I've got a much higher range of connection with the sun up here. So anyways, I think we're out of time for this episode, so we're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.